Welcome back to the Hot Rod Hangout Podcast.
Whoop whoop.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Ashley.
And after our little hiatus, we're back.
Yeah.
We've missed you. Much needed break. Just with everything else that was going on, and still didn't get caught up completely, but we missed you, so we got to record.
Well, we had some stuff going on, and we jumped back into it too quick, so we should have taken a break after our little mishaps, but we're back.
We're back. I wish I could say that, we took a break, and, Cadillac's running, driving, and painted, and it's done. But it's not. We did, however, since the last time we talked, I believe, we got the engine and trans back in the car. Trans mount is still a wondering if we're going to be able to make it work. Might have to switch that up again, but that's kind of what happens when you jump in the middle of a project. You kind of got to take some of the stuff that they did and make it work or figure out a different direction. Got the fuel tank ready to go in. Got the old Holley pump out. So if you're looking for a drop-in Holley pump,
we've got it.
Holler at your boy. Because it would be mucho appreciative to be able to put a little bit of money back in the account. But I believe we got the radiator figured out. Gonna get one of the, because it's got a stock Cadillac radiator in it, so they're both on the driver's side. LS is both on the passenger side. We swapped to the LS3 water pump, which puts the top mount more centered in the motor. So the top side we can get to, but the bottom side we're going to have to get a straight thermostat housing. And I'm going to have Ryan Ball. If you paid attention, the local show we went to, the trophies, he built all those trophies. So he's going to move the bottom hose over to more on the driver's side. With the way the trans is, the transmission lines, one of the transmission lines is kind of where we need the outlet to be.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
we still have some room to work with.
Yeah. I think with a straight one, we'll be able to make it work.
Yep.
And
we've got all the front mounted on the compressor that we rebuilt.
Yep.
Got that mounted.
Motor is basically ready to finish wiring.
Yep. And we've tested the intake placed the intake on top, and it's looking like it's going to come together very nicely.
Yeah, so we got the shift linkage done, so we can actually put it in neutral and park, and it won't roll away if the frame isn't on the ground.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're using the frame as the emergency brake. We got the bulkhead or pass-through or whatever you want to call it for the firewall. Still have to cut a hole in the firewall to get the terminator wiring into the interior.
Yep.
Once that gets wired where we can start the car and run the car, I can pull the compressors off of that tank, make a little bit of room in the trunk.
Yeah.
As big as that trunk is, 2 compressors, a 5-gallon tank, a manifold, and an ECU for an air ride system.
Yeah.
Takes up a lot of room. Oh, and a battery.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say we've got where we want to mount it.
Yeah, we have one of the 2. Eventually, it will have 2 batteries in it. But the tank is pretty much dialed in. Like I said, both compressors are still hooked up to it. I am going to leave one of the electric compressors.
Yep.
Just on a switch, or because the battery's in the trunk, I may just put it on like a alligator clip. That way, for some reason, if I want to air the car up, I don't want to fire the car up, I still have a compressor. It's going to take 3 to 5 business days to fill the tank up, but
I'll at least get it off the ground.
If I need to air it up, I can. That's pretty much. Like I said, we got the radiator. Figured out how we're going to do the fuel line. Yep. Still racking my brain on the transmission. I keep cutting stuff off of it, and it keeps getting closer. So I'm hoping I have enough more that I can cut off before I run out of, hey, I can't use this mount anymore. Because we've donated quite a bit of time to that. So I hope I can make it work.
We just got to test it, or we still have a little bit of modifying to do, and then
that cross member, for anybody that has an X-frame car, the trans cross member. So we're using the factory cross member with like I've never actually seen this mount, so I don't know if this was a Creativity mount or I believe he probably seen it somewhere and duplicated it, but it's like a saddle with the rubber bushing, kind of like an engine mount.
Right. Well, okay, because that just made me think of a random question, and I'm sorry, but like, so we're hard mounting the motor, right? There's no rubber.
There's rubber there.
Oh, there is. Okay. Because then I'm thinking on the trends.
Remember the bolts go through the rubber.
Oh, that's
There's rubber bushings there.
Oh, okay.
It's just the opposite on the transmission side.
Disregard.
So.
Edit that out.
So it's rubber mounted at the motor, and then one half of the transmission bracket is solid mounted to the cross member. One half of the transmission bracket is solid mounted to the transmission. And then there's a rubber sleeve.
Yeah.
Bushing, something or other, in between those two pieces where they mount. It looked like it was going to work, and then the more we're doing it, the more I'm like, I don't know if I have enough. I can cut more off. I've cut
a little bit.
The part that mounts to the transmission's about half as big as it used to be.
Yeah.
But anybody with a X-frame car, that trans cross member is a pain in the butt to put in and out. So that's taken quite a bit of taking it, putting it in, taking it out, modifying, putting it back in, taking it back out. But we'll get it. It is making progress. Obviously, I want the car running and driving soon. It wouldn't be so bad, but Michelangelo, I haven't even looked at it. I finally got the Cadillac all in one side of the carport, so technically I could bring the 54 up and try to finagle it out.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have too much room to work in. And I mean, with the gantry, we need it. I like when the gantry's away from the Cadillac.
Well, the gantry needs to be over the 54.
Oh yeah.
So it would be over there. But yeah, I mean the carport's only 24 foot wide. So we don't have a whole lot of room over there. But I think we have told the internet that it is getting the small block that was built for Envy, the Model A. So small block, turbo 350, haul gas cam. So it'll whop whop. No third pedal.
Nope.
Make it a little easier to cruise it. Obviously make it a little easier if me and Ashley go somewhere and the caddy's not done or it's at paint or it's not available at the time. If we have to sit in traffic waiting to go into a car show, I won't get out of the car with left leg twice as big as the right leg from pushing the clutch in and out.
Yeah, because no matter where we go, that's inevitable.
Yeah, that was miserable last year at Turkey.
Yeah.
That was my fault. I tried to go through the tunnel, and they told me absolutely not. But
well, it doesn't help that we were in bumper-to-bumper traffic for
we
5 miles.
If I could have went through the tunnel, we wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
But we made, we got turned around, and so if we'd have just continued to where we went, we'd have been like probably 45 minutes ahead of where we were, but going that half a mile up to the tunnel to get told, no, you can't fit because your shit's too low. and then going back out, and now we're in the back of the line instead of middle of the line.
Yeah.
But
hey, we got a badass picture out of the deal the first day.
We did. That's pretty much it. Just been nailing stuff down for January 3rd, the hangout. Y'all have seen the new logo with the 53 Meadowbrook out of the Why Not Fab shop.
Yep.
The diesel. She's got a gas pedal now, so she won't be strangling it across the field this year. But looking forward to that show. Still getting stuff in. If you want to come on as an advertiser for the podcast, for the show, get with me. Just kind of rerun on all of that. If you want to come on as an advertiser, I ask that you build a trophy, give out an award. If you're bringing a car club, you get with your guys that are in the car club, build a trophy.
Yep.
Buy a trophy. I don't really care how you do it. But I know Psycho's doing a trophy. He may do the podcast pick. Yes. He may paint a skateboard for us for that. He may do a skateboard for all of it. Haven't decided that yet. Food vendors, pinup show. If you're interested in the pinup show, there's a link on the Hangout event page that will take you to their event page.
Where you can sign up or register for it because you know that they're getting a list of girls together and everything, and they're planning it all. It's our first time doing any kind of pinup, so
speaking of that, if you have any questions on the pinup show, you will be way ahead reaching out to that page as opposed to reaching out to me or Ashley. We just watch pinups. We don't participate. Even though I think I look cute in a retro racer outfit. But, so I don't really have any more details other than January 3rd. It's going to be at our show. And we have a guest judge.
Yes.
Don Garlitz will be on, or as of right now, Don Garlitz will be on the property.
Yep.
So he'll have his garage open, probably signing dashes again like he did last year. Again, the awards we're doing are a podcast choice, which is the only award that you can get mad at me for. Lady owned, which is the only award you can get mad at Ashley for. Longest distance driven. That's subjective.
Yep.
Can't get mad.
It's got to be driven, not trailered.
And also, speaking of that, do me a favor. Shoot some pictures of the drive. If you think you may be in that running, shoot a picture of you driving the car.
Just like Randy Jackson did last year.
There's Randy Jackson. He killed it last year. I don't believe he's coming this year. So that does open up that trophy. And I don't know if any of the Cadillac Kings are coming. Psycho's coming out of Georgia.
Yeah.
Adale. Quite a few people coming out of Adale. Be a pretty good time. It's not a trophy hunter show. It's more of a get together. Basically, come check out cool cars, talk to people, meet people, hopefully run into some people that you don't get an opportunity to run into. It's kind of trying to blend. We do call it a show, but it's not really a show. But we're trying to blend the local show with the big shows.
Yeah.
So local show, you run into the same 15, 20, 30 cars. That's cool. I mean, you get to run into your buddies every weekend.
Yeah.
And because we live in Florida, it is 52 weeks out of the year. There's a show somewhere in the state of Florida every day, every weekend.
Yeah.
But it's the crew. It's the usual suspects. And it's cool because you get to run into them, especially for us because we don't go to shows every weekend. With everything else going on, that would be too much car.
We've been there, done that.
Yeah. We're not going to do it again. And then you have the bigger shows, West Coast Cruising Nationals, Slam Fest, which is another Florida show, Turkey, Scraping the Coast, Hot August Nights, fill in the blank for whatever genre of car that you're into all across the country that are more the destination shows. You're not making a hop, skip, and a jump to go out to the West Coast Custom Show.
Right.
If you're taking a car, you're a minimum 3 days out if you're coming from Florida. If you're driving your stuff, you're like 6 days, 5-6 days, unless you just want to push it. But our West Coast Cruising Nationals road trip is tentative at this point. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it, just because it has to make financial sense. Taking 2 weeks off of work, going out there, 6,000 miles on the car.
Yeah.
And the longer it takes for me to get it running and driving, the less time I got to test it before I go try to put 6,000 miles on it. With hotels and everything like that, we're still tentative. I'm not saying no, but I'm definitely not saying yes as well.
Yeah.
The rest of the year looks like we're going to try this Friday, October 3rd, from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Is the Hernando High School Automotive Annual Car Show. Back to the Future theme. All cars welcome. The students are the featured cars. So if you have a cool car, you're local to Hernando County, Brooksville, bring your car out. Let's show these kids that, their stuff's cool too. They drew all over our cars when we have, all over y'all's cars. They just asked me if you drove that here. No. But they drew all over our cars. The least we can do, man, is support them. They are the future. We don't have to change our banner. The younger generation. We're no longer the younger generation. We're like the middle.
Yeah, we're getting old.
But, we've done very, very well with kind of blending the gap. I feel like we've had a wide array of people. Guests from, all aspects of the car hobby, all genres of cars. Pretty much other than donks. So if you got a big wheel, reach out. But yeah, pretty much everything else. I mean,
yeah, because we finally got a lifted truck. Squatted truck.
Yeah, so always looking for guests. If you reach out and I don't reach right back out, give me some time. Me and Ashley both still do workday jobs. So after this Friday, it'll just depend on, I get off at 5. So with the car show being at 5:30, we will either be fashionably late or y'all will be in our thoughts.
Yeah.
But we'll make that decision on Friday. I'm going to try to cut out a little early, but we'll just see how it works out. Then the last show the last big hoorah will be Turkey Rod Run, Daytona, Thanksgiving weekend. We will be there Thursday night to Saturday night. We'll be there Sunday morning, but
that day
unless you want to go get breakfast or something.
Yeah.
We'll be loading the dogs up to head back home. So we won't be able to go to the show on Sunday. But we'll be at, Iron Horse. We're going to try to make at least one night at Turkey Nights.
Yeah. Because we didn't
do it at all last year. Just with everything going on. But we'll keep you posted. We'll have merch.
And we'll probably be maybe not like a big photo bomb like I do last year, but we'll upload.
Yeah, I'll do some reels and stuff off my phone because y'all seem to dig that other than me sitting in here for an hour editing a 30-second clip. So I'm not spending an hour editing a reel. If it gets more attention with the just pull my phone out and that's cool.
Send it.
And we're still, I was talking to Brian with the Hometown Hot Rodder. Shout out to him. Congratulations on the new ride, homie. Can't wait to see what it turns into. But I was talking to him today, and they just started their 7th year.
Jeez.
Today is the first day of the fiscal year for Hometown Hot Rodder.
Jeez.
So, and I was like, well, damn. We ain't even been doing this 2 years yet. So we're still learning, still growing.
We've only... yeah.
This will be our second hangout.
Yep.
So we haven't even been doing this 2 years yet.
Yeah, because our first one was like December 28th.
Yep. Yeah, so y'all have been amazing at the support. Next week's episode, y'all will know him as the Car Doc Holiday on TikTok. He's coming out with a podcast. I had him on as a guest. That episode will come out next Thursday. But I hope that once they get up and going, we'll start sharing some of their stuff. And maybe one day they'll be like, hey, you want to be on a podcast? But you have so many hours in the day that, you can only listen to us for an hour or two every week, depending on how long my rants go.
Well, there's been some good long episodes that we've had along the way, but I mean, we try to keep it around
hour and a half.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard to get that because you get talking or good conversation or stories.
Yeah.
But we appreciate everybody being understanding of needing to take a little bit of break from cars.
Everybody that's reached out while
we're still living.
Yeah.
But I was just, I got into FTC mode and cars in general. I didn't even want to watch car content. I didn't even log into the Facebook page. It was just, I got to a point where I want this to be so big that I was disappointed in myself for not, I can sleep when I'm dead and I don't need to be in that way. There's got to be time for me and Ashley to be me and Ashley. There's got to be times to go work on our cars so we can come see y'all at car shows. Because not having a car sucks.
Yeah.
We've been invited to a couple things, and I've tried to beat my head and make it work, and it won't be done, but it'll make it. And then if something happens or run out of money or just everybody's been in the shop. You're working on something and you had that tool in your hand 5 minutes ago, and now you can't find it. Them damn commercial mechanics took it. But in our case, they weren't doing no work. They were just taking tools or parts or whatnot. But like I said, we should have the intake and everything from the firewall forward wired within the next couple of days. The belt debacle.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not going to mention any names, But Progressive Auto Parts sucks. And I didn't mention the name, but y'all should be able to get it from that. So the front drive, accessory drives on the LS for the Cadillac is all ICT billet. With that, if you buy their bracket, they'll tell you, hey, if it's a truck motor with these accessories in that bracket, your belt's going to be that long.
Right.
Well, I added another bracket to be able to mount an engine-driven compressor, so that number went out the window.
Yeah.
Because I'm no longer using a tensioner that's on the water pump. I'm using a tensioner that's mounted on the bracket for that compressor.
Yep. And the tensioner next to the
and it's not mounted.
Alternator is different.
No,
Isn't it lower?
That's the bracket.
Oh.
The ICT billet is that whole bracket. So if I would have just put that on, they'd have told me, oh, you need a 72-inch belt. I'd order a 72 belt, and it worked. But the engine-driven doesn't mount exactly where their AC bracket would have mounted it. So I had to measure belt. No big deal. Wrap a string around the pulleys, mark it, tensioner it all the way loose, mark it. You know you're somewhere in the middle there, divide it by 2. You know, if you got 4-inch spread on your tensioner, you know, go somewhere in the middle. We came up with 63.5 to 65.5. No,
Yep.
not 60. 90. We come up with 94 to 96.5.
Yes.
So I looked around for a belt, and I was just going to buy 3 belts. I was going to buy a 94.5, a 95.5, and a 96. And whichever one worked was going to go on the car, and the other 2 were going to go back. I couldn't find a 94.5, which was the belt that I was pretty sure was the one I needed locally. So I went to Amazon, and I found one for like $8, and I was like, well, that's going to be a pretty garbage belt, but
Yeah.
but if it's the right length, it'll do until I can order a Dayco,
Yeah.
CarQuest, whatever belt, name brand belt. Well, it was a little short, so I'm like, well, dang. So I got on Progressive Auto Parts website, and I noticed that they had a 95.5 and a 96 in stock. And I said, shoo, order them, have them on the counter. I'll come by, I'll pick them up. This will be easy. So last week was my birthday. It was also Ashley's mama's birthday, so happy birthday. So Ashley had went to go do the good daughter thing, see her mom on her birthday.
Yeah.
So I picked the belt up and I come home and I'm all excited because I got the 2 belts that are going to work. One of these 2 belts is going to be the belt I need. So I take well, there's no belt on it. So I throw the belt on, hit the tensioner, pull it down. I'm like, man, this belt's feels shorter than the one that I tried. So I look at the part number on the belt, and it's 94 inches. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, dang, did I grab the wrong belt? Like, did they stick the 2 belts that I was supposed to get on the counter, and I grabbed I thought it was me. So I walk back over, and I'm like, oh, wait a second. This is a Dayco belt. I ordered a Dayco belt that was 96.
Yep.
And then I ordered a DriveWorks belt that was 95.5.
Right.
And so I'm like, this is a Dayco belt. It should be super long. Then I look over and nope, Dayco belt's still in the Dayco package. But the 94-inch belt made by Dayco was in the DriveWorks 95.5. So I'm like, well, that sucks. So I threw the 96 on, and I'm like, it fits. But I feel like that 95 and a half is the one.
Yeah.
So I send my residence part expert
Who'd that be?
to take this belt back.
Oh, your lady.
My lovely wife. And I tell her, just return this belt. They're probably going to give you shit because they're going to think that I put the wrong belt back in the packaging. But explain to them, like, nope, it hasn't been mounted. It's still wound up the same way y'all had it wound up. I just need this belt. So she goes, because she gets off at 4. I don't get off until 5. So she goes, and I get these people are retards. And I was like, oh boy. And so I call her. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, well, they want me to bring back both belts because they won't just return one belt.
Because it's going to mess up their inventory.
And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, just return the belt and sell me the belt, and then we're good. Same way that if I would have bought 2 belts and the 96 was the one I needed, I would have took the 95 and a half back.
Yep, only one.
Or if the 95 would have worked, I would have took the 96 back.
So just the one belt.
Yeah, one belt. So I'm like, well, grab the belt, grab me a t-shirt, grab me a hat. I'll meet you there, and we'll get it figured out. So I walk in, and I'm like, what the hell? So I walk up to the guy, and I don't know his name, but he's always awesome when we go in there.
Yep.
And the guy that had come up with this concoction of I need both belts back to return one belt to sell you the other belt back to all that bullshit was gone. So I'm like, hey, I need to return this belt and I need to buy that belt. And the kid, just going based on what this person at the parts store is higher than just a team member, so he should know. So he was just going off of what he said. And I said, okay, well, change up the idea. I don't want to exchange the belt for the right belt anymore. I just want to return this belt. So he returns that belt, and then I walk over to the other register, and I say, hi, I'm a new customer. Sell me the 95.5-inch belt. Because he was waiting on a manager to come put his numbers in so he could give me back my money for the wrong belt. So I swipe it, and he goes, oh, that'll be yada yada. And I'm like, cool. So I walk back over to where the belt was where we were returning a belt. I took the money, and I walked it back over to buy the new belt. But that was too hard to figure out without step-by-step process.
And in all fair, like you said, the one kid, he usually is very cordial, nice.
Yes.
Even when I go in by myself, he's cordial to me. He doesn't, it's not the stereotypical, he treats me like a real customer. And when you had stepped away, the manager, as he was coming in to put the code in, he was like, oh, is this the wrong one? I was like, well, right packaging, wrong belt. And he was like, oh, like he had no idea. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't there when I had gone in by myself, but he even made a point. He's like, oh, well, I'm going to need to make sure to check these before, because,
And again, it was not the young kid that ended up doing the exchange. Yeah. Because the belt was wrapped up where the part number was inside.
Yeah.
So I took credit. It was my bad. I didn't pull it out and look at the part number. When I seen the belt was spun around and the number was hidden, I should have checked it. So I will take credit for that. But don't be a dick.
Yeah.
And what's even worse is the dickhead is a commercial manager. That means that mechanic shops depend on this guy that can't figure out how to return something and buy something different.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Oh.
I wonder if he's the guy that sold half a brake pad set to that shop in Bushnell.
Oh, probably.
Because you only need them on the outside.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Or that's what they told the lady.
Yeah.
But, so basically, that was, that's one of the parts nightmares that has been experienced. What should have took,
one trip.
an afternoon ended up taking a full night and a exorcism but the end result was the 95.5 is money.
Yes.
So Ashley took the other belt back. So they ended up with both belts that they wanted back.
Yep.
They just needed to give me a day to see if the 95 worked.
Well, and I had even said when the one dude was like, "Oh, you need both belts to return." I'm like, the other belt is physically on the car right now. I am not taking that off. That is not my job. I'm like, I'm just here to do one. But I'm glad we got it all resolved. They got both their belts back. We don't. Luckily, they are not the only parts store in town. So
No, and warning, Progressive Auto Parts, you might want to get your shit together. Because there's an O'Reilly's coming that's almost as close as you to my house. O'Reilly's Auto Parts.
Yeah.
There's also an AutoZone, a Bushnell Auto Parts.
Yep.
And shout out to Bushnell Auto Parts.
Yes, they came in handy when you were doing the drive
That
shaft.
bastard joined for that drive shaft. So I still have a stock drive shaft. And I have an LS. Well, they're all the same. 27 spline, LS, Turbo 350, Turbo 400. I don't know if the 400 is the same. But anyway, yoke. And obviously, those are two different sizes.
Yeah.
Two different clip styles. Cadillac is inner clips with crimp, which just literally means that you can't beat them out enough to get them off. I'm convinced that's what that means because that's all I could figure out. I ended up having to cut the U-joints. So it's a good thing that we found them because I destroyed the U-joints getting them off.
Yeah.
But, and then, so Ashley took the old tail shaft.
Yep.
And the new tail shaft and said, I need
To connect these two.
Yeah. And I need those those on that side of the U-joint, and I need those on that side of the U-joint. And literally 5 minutes later, he walks out and hands her one.
Yep.
Comes back.
And he's good when he pulls out the freaking Bible. I'd like this is three phone books put together.
and I wish we could use him, but a lot of times when we're working on the cars, it's either late at night or on a weekend, and he's not open. But I would love to support him.
Yeah.
Just because he's a local guy and he's always done right.
And luckily, he's right down the street, and with me working where I do, I can run up on a lunch break real quick, whatever. But if it's something that you would need to go in and ask,
but it's a hometown auto parts store, so probably doesn't carry as much, but he could probably get it. And a lot of times, especially on this project so far, which that'll change as the build progresses. But right now, it's when I want the part, like it's Amazon or auto parts store because I want it yesterday.
Yeah.
Because it's we're to the point on the Caddy where it's the stupid stuff that you forgot to buy. A fitting, fuel tank strap rubber, AN fittings. So we switched. That was another thing. We switched the lines from the Cadillac lines to the LS truck power steering pump.
Yep.
And the fitting that came with it didn't work, so we had to order a different fitting. But that was late at night, get it here type thing. But it is coming together. Like I said, it's getting closer every day, and I just I needed to take a break to kind of realize, like, progress is progress. There's going to be times, hopefully the plan works out and it makes a big change from Turkey Rod Run to our show. And then after our show, then it'll disappear for a little while, and then that'll be a huge change.
Yep.
Super excited about seeing the end result of that.
And while it's going through those changes, it'll give us a chance to...
Yeah, then we can kind of get Michelangelo figured out, which once the Cadillac gets running and driving to a point where it can go to Psycho for body work and primer, then I'm just going to drive the shit out of it until it can go up there.
Well, and luckily with Michelangelo, we bought a lot of stuff for that motor and trans and to get it to where it is now. So, I mean...
Yeah, motor's ready to drop in other than an intake and a carb.
Yeah, because
we're intaking a fuel injection.
We don't need the intake that's currently sitting on the table out there. Not for Michelangelo.
No. But because we have 2 fuel pumps and 2 regulators out there, we put a Holley Sniper unit on top of it.
Oh, goodness gracious.
It's already there.
Oh, boy.
We already got the parts. Intake and a carb is going to be pretty close to what a Sniper unit is.
Okay.
So, I mean, because we somehow ended up with 2 fuel pumps and 2 regulators.
Yeah.
Actually, we ended up with 3 fuel pumps because the drop-in Holley unit is also out there. So,
I don't even know how we ended up with so many.
Know. I don't know if I ordered it because I knew that we were going to need it. End result is we ended up with spare parts.
Yeah.
So if that is the plan for that car, we already have the fuel pump it needs and the regulator that it needs. Which might have to dial up the fuel a little bit for that cam, but it'll be all good. So that motor's pretty much ready to set in. Figure out mounts, figure out what we got to do with the trans.
Yeah.
Probably have to do the exact same thing we did with the Cadillac for the tail shaft. Because I doubt an S10 5-speed's a 27 spline.
Yeah, are we...
But that's a 1-piece drive
Yeah.
So it may need a drive shaft.
Well, I was going to say, do we need to
lengthen it or whatever it needs.
Yeah.
But then pretty much... Because right now, if we put a carburetor on it, it already has a fuel pump that'll work for it. Or we could hang the mechanical pump back on the motor. Bring the mechanical pump out there, too.
Yeah.
And then just switch the fuel line that we ran to fix the vapor lock problem.
Yeah.
We got enough fuel line there because it doesn't need to go across the car with a carburetor. It needs to be on the passenger side, not driver's side. So it goes to driver's side now.
Yeah, because it was going right in front of where it got nice and hot.
Yeah, it went right over top of the valve cover.
Yep.
So, but then that's, that radiator should work. Probably we'll use the trans cooler that we bought for the Model A. Because that radiator doesn't have a trans cooler in it because of it being a manual.
Oh.
And a shifter.
Yep.
And I got engine mounts out there that'll probably work.
The ones we were going to use for the Model A.
So pretty much, and the cross member in that car will be a straight cross member, so just use a regular piece of pipe. Don't have to do anything fancy because the frame doesn't X and hang out and hug the drive shaft for 3 foot underneath the car, and it's also not 20 foot long and 2 pieces. And that was a motherfucker, by the way. A carrier bearing on a Cadillac sucks. It's just in case anybody's like, man, I'm really thinking about changing the carrier bearing in my Cadillac. I do have the 1 13/16 crow's foot, though, so if you're local, I have the tool.
Yep.
But
'Cause
I don't care what you do to it, unless my torque wrench is no bueno. You're never going to get it to 55 pounds and still let it slide. So
Yeah, I mean, well, you calculated it out for it being on the.
I couldn't even get it to click at 30.
Oh.
Like, it's severely, but it's tight.
Yeah.
You know, any tighter, I ended up just tightening it, slide, tighten. Oh, and no slide no more. Back it off just a little bit, and that's where we went. It can't really go anywhere. I mean,
yeah.
Again, it's encased in the frame. It'd probably be violent if it ever came out of there, and it is what it is. Yeah, so we did that.
Yep.
Because when we pulled the drive shaft out to put the motor in, we realized that carry bearing was no longer carrying.
Yeah, it was in two pieces.
It was in multiple pieces, and
Yeah.
Which is probably where that 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch that I feel like I lost on the front drive shaft went.
Yeah, probably.
It probably moved back in that bearing. But
It's still going to work where it's sitting now with
yeah.
how you have everything laid out.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much that.
We talked about the hangout. We talked about going to Turkey. Talked about tomorrow's shindig at the high school.
So, hotrodhangout.com, only place to buy your tickets, pre-register. Like I said, we're still looking for advertisers for both the podcast and excited to see everybody. Appreciate everybody's support in this little break that we took. Big things coming, big things in the works. Not going to jinx them, but hopefully all of this will be a little easier time management wise in the future. But if you want to be a guest, reach out. You can reach out to the page. You can reach out to my personal phone numbers on every truck stop, gas station from here to California and back. So,
and we've already had a few listeners on. So,
and don't say like, "Oh, nobody wants to hear my story." I do.
Yep.
You know, I don't care. I don't even care if you got a car. If you're listening to this and you're like, "Man, I really want to be in this," get with me. You know, there's literally so much joy that this brings, and that was part of taking some time off. Was, you know, it happened with the car shows, and it happened with this. You know, working on the car and being frustrated that it wasn't making big steps and not having time, and then getting bombarded with lifing. You know, it was not fun, and I noticed that the episode suffered, the content suffered. I don't want to go do stuff, so now I'm like, well, I don't want to be shitty. You know, y'all don't deserve that. So we took a step back, and I feel like once we get back rolling, which new episode this episode, and then we got a new episode next week.
Yep.
We're getting back on a roll. Hopefully we see some of y'all at Turkey, and hopefully we see all of y'all at the Hangout. January 3rd, Hot Rod Hangout Podcast. Go get you some shirts, hats. You cannot buy show shirts till January 4th, probably January 5th. It'll just depend on what we have. Those shirts are first come, first serve.
Yeah.
We will have a little bit, so if you're at the show and we happen to run out of a size, I'll honor it. We'll do free shipping to get it to you. If you're at the show. We'll have a little bit of extra after, like we did last year. We'll put those up, for a month or two.
Yep.
And if they don't sell, then they'll become my work shirts. But we appreciate everybody. So before we get out of here, I want to give a huge shout out to Why Not Fab. You can check their work out on Facebook, Instagram, and the TikTok. Throttle Addict, use the code word Hot Rod. You can save 15%. Johnny Jalopy, Facebook, YouTube, JohnnyJalopy.com. He is killing it. He killed our logo. He did the logo for the 24 hangout, 25 hangout, and he's doing the logo for the 20. Or he did the logo for the 26. It turned out killer. Thank you again. Make sure you go show Wrenching for the Future some love. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure you go show Psycho Fab, Psycho Lincoln on Instagram. I cannot wait to get the Cadillac up there and let him lay some paint on it and make it all pretty. But I really do appreciate everybody's patience, and I promise that it won't be, if we do take a break, it's not going to be like that, and it'll be a known, hey, we're taking a break in a couple weeks. It's not going to be all of a sudden, sky is falling, Chicken Little thing.
It'll be a planned event.
Yeah, it'll be a planned event. So it really will be regular scheduled programming. But we're back on track, guys. Thank y'all all so much. Hope to see y'all at Hernando County High School this Friday. I hope to see y'all at Turkey. And if I don't see it either one of those places, I hope to see you at the Hangout. Till next time, guys, get out and drive a shit.
See ya.
Later.